We're going to keep moving forward. No pity or quarter to our adversaries. The U.S. Navy dispatched
a whole fleet of carriers and cruisers to the region to address the crisis and reopen the Strait of Hormuz, because Iranian missiles and drones were constantly bombarding it, making it unsafe for commercial. Ship was preparing for battle. From the carrier decks, fighters took off and ascended into overhead patrol
positions. Every missile launch system in the fleet underwent testing and was verified to be functional. Targeting.
Radars were active as vertical launch cells cycled. Systems for controlling fires were activated. In a constant
air patrol, helicopters buzzed over the formation, keeping an eye out for approaching Iranian Shahed drones that had been attacking nearby ships and tankers for days. Ordnance workers used the weapons elevators below deck
aboard the ships to raise aircraft bombs from the lower magazine compartments. These bombs, each weighing about
2,000 pounds, were positioned close to the aircraft elevators for transfer to the flight deck after
being transported over the hangar deck on loading carts. From there, they would be mounted on the
staging area were already being equipped with missiles and bombs by maintenance technicians on the top
flight deck. Locked into the wingtip rails were air-to-air missiles. The underwing pylons were equipped with
guided bombs. Every weapon was linked, examined, and verified to be prepared until the airplane was given.
The all clear to launch, the arming pins remained in place. The fully armed and inspected Super Hornets
rolled forward onto the catapult tracks. They connected up to the launch shuttle one by one, fired up their engines, and were propelled off the bow by the steam catapults with enough ammunition to
hit many targets before heading back to the ship. Each aircraft soared hard and veered into Iranian
airspace. A squad of Marines landed on the portion of the flight deck of the ship via
Osprey. In addition to being available for land operations if necessary, these Marines were tasked with providing
extra protection for the ship. They were told to go below deck to get their assignments after. Filing off the Osprey in full battle gear, soldiers started getting ready for carrier defense on the
lower decks. Carrying sniper rifles and shoulder-fired Stinger anti-aircraft missiles, they swiftly ascended the ladders to the top decks. They dispersed around the ship's perimeter, positioned themselves on raised platforms and behind the railings,
and started searching the sky and horizon for approaching hostile drones. In order to cover every approach,
the Stinger squad powered up the targeting systems, shouldered their launchers, and pointed forth. Concurrently, a
crew member loaded ammo belts into the phalanx CIWS on a different part of the ship.
automatic rapid-fire cannon of the ship's close-in armament system is intended to destroy drones and incoming missiles at close range. The radar-guided turret started automatically tracking and sweeping back and forth over its
sector when the ammo drum was loaded and the system was turned on.
Now that it was operational, the CIWS was prepared to attack anything that managed to get past the outer defenses. 2.
Men stood behind a large machine gun that was installed on the upper deck. After charging the
weapon and loading an ammo belt, they fired a brief test burst over the lake. The gun
had a smooth cycle. To make sure the weapon was working, they fired another blast. A nearby
Escort cruiser kept formation at a certain distance while sailing by the carrier. The armament systems on
board the cruiser were operational. Anti-air missiles are on standby. Radar is continuously sweeping, and Tomahawk crews.
Missiles are loaded and prepared for long-range attacks against Iranian sites. When the order came, the cruiser
was there to defend the carrier and provide its own firepower.
Marines boarded MH-60 Nighthawk helicopters on
the deck of the ship. Their job was to patrol the waterways and skies at a distance.
From the cruiser, creating an outer security ring. With door gunners behind their weapons, the helicopters took.
and flew in a wide pattern around the ship, keeping an eye out for any threats.
That may approach the formation, such as small boats or drones. The fleet was fully manned,
armed, and rapidly approaching the Strait of Hormuz. Every aircraft, ship, and weapon system was operational and
aimed at Iran. Within the Battle Information Center, the staff doesn't stop working. The area is softly
illuminated, and radar displays glow. Every moving item in the air and on the water is tracked
by operators across the whole operation area. Friendly aircraft, air encounters, surface contacts, and unidentified returns. Everything is tracked, recognized, and recorded. Officers share threat information and update the tactical picture in real time.
the runway. The air boss oversees the movement of aircraft on the flight deck level. Each fighter
that lands after finishing its mission is monitored. The air boss keeps track of which aircraft have
required for one jet, another requires a complete reload of weapons, a maintenance flag is on a
third. Before it flies again, a hydraulic problem has to be inspected. The deckmen below receive
information promptly. The effort that fuels this cycle never ends below deck. In the bottom magazine,
compartments, ordnance crews retrieve guided bombs, air-to-air missiles, rocket pods, and cannon rounds from their storage racks.
Every weapon is transported to the weapons elevator after being put onto a cart. The ordnance is
transported to the hangar level by the elevator via the decks. After that, a different crew takes
over and moves the carts across the hangar deck to the aircraft elevator, which raises everything to
flight deck. Topside, the arming crews retrieve the weapons, wheel them to the aircraft that are
waiting, and start the installation procedure. This chain never stops. The next load of ordnance is already
on the elevator, rising as soon as the first load reaches the flight deck. Below, the magazine.
Workers load, send, and pull. The hangar staff shift and relocate. The personnel on the flight
deck mount and arm. The fighters are always armed and in the air, thanks to 3 teams
operating at various levels of the ship that are connected to one another and traveling at the
same speed. The labor continues even as the shifts change. Day turns into darkness and back again.
The supply chain continues to feed from the bottom up, while the spacecraft depletes its armament stockpiles. A subterranean magazine chamber located several decks below the sea line is where every bomb that departs
a pylon over Iran began its voyage. Managed by teams that maintain the whole air operation even.
They never get to view the sky. These men and women are the silent engine of war. Far removed from the glory of the cockpit, their labor is what keeps the fleet operational and
ready to strike.
The mission in the Strait of Hormuz is as much about logistics as firepower. The mouth of the strait is now within reach. The fleet is poised for the final push forward.